Hello and welcome to the Climate Week NYC series Sustainability Shorts. It's our quickfire interview series of leaders from across the spectrum focused on getting climate action done. And today I am delighted to be joined by Dr. Sarah Cumbers, Director of Evidence and Insight at the Lloyds Register Foundation. Welcome, Sarah. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
I'm going to jump straight into our first question. Our theme this year at Climate Week NYC is getting it done. I'd love to ask, what does this mean to you? What does this mean to your organisation?
Yeah, thanks very much. So Lloyds Register Foundation is a global safety charity. We've got a mission to engineer a safer world through funding education, innovation and research. And we know that countries and communities around the world are already being exposed to safety risks, such as severe weather events that have been created or exacerbated by climate change. And so acknowledging that it's really important to take action to limit climate change in itself, for the foundation, getting it done in the context of Climate Week is really about stimulating action to improve resilience and reduce the vulnerability of people and infrastructure to those risks. So one of the key ways in which Lloyds Register Foundation is stimulating and informing action to improve resilience is through our World Risk Poll. And this is a global poll that will provide vital intelligence to governments, to policymakers, businesses, civil society and communities to identify vulnerabilities and help target interventions, essentially helping to define what the it is in getting it done in different places around the world.
So you mentioned there a lot of different types of organisations, stakeholders, to coin a phrase. So I would imagine that collaboration is a really key part of what you do. What is the role of collaboration in how you structurally support climate action? How are you doing this?
It's really, really important, and Lloyds Register Foundation works with a whole diverse range of partners to drive forward the global conversation around resilience and really to get it recognised as being a priority in the context of climate action. Essentially, we're a grant-giving charity, and so we fund research programmes and initiatives to help improve resilience around the world. So Resilience Rising is one of our major programmes. It's a global non-profit consortium that works with a whole range of other actors within the system globally to accelerate a safe, resilient and sustainable future. And we're always open to opportunities for new partnerships that will help to maximise our efforts to improve safety through resilience, as well as to tackle priority safety challenges. So we're really interested in having that conversation at New York Climate Week. If you think there are opportunities for us to work together, please, encouraging people to get in touch.
And you mentioned there about sort of what you want to achieve at Climate Week NYC. It's a really interesting year. We've got COP27 coming. We've got SEM later on in the week as well. Sort of specifically during the week, events like these large climate sort of summits. What role does Climate Week NYC specifically play in how you achieve those objectives?
Yeah. So for us, it's really the fact that the event attracts such a hugely diverse and influential range of stakeholders, because it's those individuals, those organisations that have really great potential to take action to improve resilience to climate-related disasters and safety risks. So for us, being there in New York during Climate Week gives us the opportunity to make sure that those stakeholders are aware of the data and the intelligence, including from the World Risk Poll, that the Foundation can provide to support their work in this sphere. And being there in New York will enable us to make those connections and have conversations that, as I've said, may lead onto meaningful strategic partnerships to tackle the challenges. So again, just encouraging people to get in touch if they're interested, find out a little bit more about the World Risk Poll and come and talk to us about what we do.
So, it'll be a great opportunity to allow you to plug how they can do that. You mentioned those audiences. Many of them will be watching the Sustainability Short series. How can they find out more? How do they get in touch?
Yeah, so as I've said, a whole range of different actors we think will be interested, from governments, policymakers, researchers, grassroots organisations. We've got a whole programme of work with communities who are working to, individuals and organisations who are working to address risk within their community. So the first thing is coming along to our Hub Live session. It's on the Wednesday the 21st of September, and I'll be talking there about how the World Risk Poll can help those stakeholders to pinpoint vulnerability and respond to the complex and connected crises of our new climate reality by building resilience. And then we've got a webinar on Thursday the 22nd as part of New York Climate Week, where attendees can find out more of the detail around the World Risk Poll. And then obviously there's the World Risk Poll website and the Foundation's website for more information on our wider work.
Brilliant. And just a final question from me. I'm very much aware of sort of Climate Week NYC that resilience is a conversation that we're seeing so much more. It's becoming a real issue across events, across the community. So how is Lloyd's Register Foundation sort of informing that conversation about resilience? You've mentioned the event at the Hub Live. Are there other activities on resilience that you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's brilliant to hear that you're hearing resilience talked about more and more. That's really music to my ears. And I think what the foundation can really do is to contribute to the detail of that discussion. Yeah. The World Risk Poll is such an important and rich source of data on climate and resilience. So, for example, during that week, we'll be launching a new social resilience index showing how resilient or vulnerable different countries and demographics are at individual, at household, at community and societal levels. And the poll also deals with, for example, the proportion of people globally who've experienced and or are concerned about climate-related risks such as severe weather. And we've also got data from 2019, so we can see how that's changed. And then we've also got a barometer of how concerned different countries and demographics are about climate change. So essentially, we'll be adding to the richness of that conversation with our knowledge and encouraging people to use that data to understand public perceptions and experiences, to pinpoint vulnerability and essentially focus action to build resilience.
Oh, well, thanks so much. So I really appreciate getting a taste of some of what we're going to hear more about at Climate Week NYC and at your session at the Hub Live on the Wednesday. If you want to find out more about that session, about Lloyd's Register Foundation or any of the other subjects that we've discussed, head to the climateweeknyc.org website and you'll find all the details there. But that concludes our discussion for now. Dr. Sarah Cumbers, thank you so much for joining me here in New York today, and I look forward to seeing you in the week.
Thank you. It's been great talking to you.